I welcome Ms. Riya Singh, who is pursuing BA LLB course at National University of Study and Research in Law at Ranchi. It's a very prestigious national university of law, and the admission she has got after qualifying the national level combined law admission test. And it's a 5-year course, and one more important part, information about her is that she is alumnus of AC schools, and she has studied 10th class from Atomic Energy Center School 1, Hyderabad. She has completed her 12th class in 2020 with 95.5% marks, and from 21 to this year, that is, she is a final year student. And I felt, being alumnus of AAC schools and being a current law undergraduate student, she is the most suitable person to interact with you people and to guide us that why any student should take this course, which types of students must take this kind of course. These all are the issues on which we will discuss. We will expect her talk. I request Mutsa Madam and Anvi to please come and to welcome formally Ms. Riya Singh with the photograph. Please, can you come front? I would also like to give a brief profile of Ms. Riya. Like, she has worked as intern at Vedanta Legal Advocates, New Delhi. She was intern under Mr. S.V. Raju, Additional Solicitor General of India. She was intern under Mr. Pradeep Rai, Senior Advocate at the Supreme Court of India. She has done internship under Mr. Vikramjit, Banerjee, Additional Solicitor General of India. Also under Mr. Raghav Ram Upadhyay, Senior Advocate, High Court, Lucknow Bench. Shri Kamlesh, Behra, District Court Advocate, Civil Court, Ranchi. She has also done internship under Mr. Farooqui, Advocate at Supreme Court and founder of Zaria Helping Hand. In her college also she is very active. She is a committee member of Center for Child Rights. She is a core committee member of Editorial Board of Center for Human Rights and Terror Studies. She is a core committee member of Literary Society. Would expect her guidance on our literary club activities as well. Moot Court Committee, Center of Constitutional Studies, Center of Criminal Law. These are the committees in her college in which she is a member. She has contributed nicely in some publications and in paper presentations also. She has, I have a list of 7 publications and research papers where she has contributed. I welcome Ms. Riya Singh once again, and I request the students, these are the students of class 9, these are the talented, energetic, interested students of class 9 of ACS 3. And I feel that this session will be more productive, more successful if it is bilateral, if it is interactive. So I expect the audience to throw your questions, whatever you feel, ask. We should have 2 mics, I think. So lecture begin, and after that the question and answer right now will be. So welcome.
I hope you all are doing good. And I just want to know कि आप लोग हिंदी में ज़्यादा comfortable है English? What is more comfortable for you? I will speak that. You can raise your hand. Raise your hand. It's okay, no problem. You can raise your hand properly. How many? Then how many for Hindi? ठीक है, I will switch between Hindi and English. That's comfortable for all. So, sir has already given my introduction, but I still like to do my part. So, as I already mentioned, my name is Riya, and going on. It is a national law university, but we will deal with it further. So, talking about how I entered this space, my purpose of coming here today is just to give you a kind of awareness that there are even more career options other than engineering and medical. So 9th 10th में होते हैं, 12th में होते हैं. तो सबसे prominent जो career options आजकल हम देखते हैं that is engineering, medical, और very few people go for chartered accountancy, right? And law के बारे में लोग इतना ज़्यादा ना जानते हैं ना इतना ज़्यादा सोचते हैं. So I think as a law student it is my duty to kind of make you aware and sort of push you or maybe guide you to explore this option also. And we will be discussing further what all choices you can make after you pursue this. And prepare a brief PPT so that it is visible also. Firstly, so when I did my 19th from ACS Hyderabad, so back then we did not, as I already mentioned, we did not have much knowledge about law. And I did my 11th and 12th also from science. I am basically a biology student. I did a biology, physics, chemistry in my 11th and 12th. And then after 12th, honestly, biology, physics, chemistry did not interest me much. I did like biology a bit, but I was not much interested in physics and chemistry. So I thought maybe I should change my field and explore an option that suits me, that suits my strengths. So I happened to meet somebody who was preparing for CLAT, who was actually pursuing law back then from an NLE. So I happened to meet her, and she just casually mentioned that I want to do this degree, and I got really interested by hearing the term, by hearing law, and I explored this option, and I felt it was very interesting. So I finally decided to take up this career. So the most fundamental question that I would pose to you before we know about to understand what is law. So I would just like to know your view. When you hear the term law, what is it that you think? What is it that comes to your mind first? You all watch movies, series, सबने देखी हो, जॉली लड़की सबने देखी हो, देखी हो, है ना? क्रिमिनल जस्टिस, एविडेंस ऑफ हॉटस्टार, सबने देखी होगी. तो सबने कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा देखा होगा जिसमें लॉ का कुछ ना कुछ आया हो, कोई एडवोकेट, दे आर फाइटिंग इन द कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ. तो वो देख के आपको कुछ तो एक प्रिजम्पशन बना होगा कि लॉ ऐसा होगा. तो what is it that comes to your mind when you hear the term law? I want to know from you. I want to know how much knowledge or maybe an idea you have about law. Can anybody answer that? You can just raise it. It would be a silly answer, I don't mind, but I just want you to speak. It will be very beautiful. It's a good conversation. So anybody would like to answer? What is law for you? What is it that comes to your mind when you hear it? Want to answer?
I believe that law refers to rules and regulations enforced by a constitution of a state.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody would like to answer? What do you think when you hear the term law for the first time? और कुछ नहीं आता इस बात में कि आपने जो मूवी सीरीज देखा तो उससे कुछ तो एक इमेज आया होगा कि शायद ऐसा करते होंगे जो एडवोकेट्स हो या लॉयर को ऐसा करते होंगे कि ये जॉब है. So as such we do not have any specific definition for law. Okay, nowhere it is defined that this is what is law. So here whatever laws or body of rules that are made, it is in a way precisely right, because law is nothing but what it is rules. It is a collection of rules, and it is made for the society because we as individuals we are different, and not everybody in society is civilized. We need some control mechanisms. So what do you think the lawyers do? Is it something that you see in the movies? Is it the same? No arguing in court? Or there's more to it? What do you think they do? What is their job? What is it like? Anybody's father, mother, or sibling? Anybody having a lawyer in the family? No? You have?
My father was a lawyer.
Your father was a lawyer. So, what have you observed about his work? Character.
He was a
It's okay, you can say
he's not a very practiced advocate. He worked as a junior lawyer for a few years. He's not a very official. He studied law for a few years in Bangalore and then worked as a junior lawyer for a few years.
What was his work as a junior? If you like, what he used to do? No? Anybody else having any idea what is a lawyer? What is an advocate? No?
A lawyer job is to protect a guilty one or accused one. Yes. Or somebody who like he proves that he is innocent. A lawyer's work is to make a person prove innocent in a court or his client.
Anybody else? So, you're precisely right. The lawyer's work is to protect their client as one of his jobs, but they're not necessarily should be guilty or not. So, yeah. In movies, series, whatever you watch, you must have seen lawyers arguing in courts, right? So, which is why you have this assumption that all they do is argue and they protect their client. But protecting the client is, of course, that the base I would say, but there are various means through which they do it. So, people usually assume that law comes into picture when a crime is committed. Suppose, अभी आप यहाँ स्कूल से निकल रहे हो and if anybody of you have phones, आप में से किसी के पास फोन है, आपका फोन कोई चुरा के लेके चला जाए. That is when you think कि मुझे पुलिस के पास जाना है, मुझे एफआईआर करनी है, मे बी अगर पुलिस काम नहीं करती तो मुझे केस करना है उस इंसान के अगेंस्ट जिससे मेरा फोन चोरी किया है ना. That is what you think. But हमेशा lawyers don't come into picture when the crime is committed. Their work is also when the crime is not committed, when they apprehend that a crime can be committed. Okay. So supposedly you are working as an advocate. If you must have heard of big companies like Tata Motors or various HDFC Bank. There are various institutions that employ lawyers, and their job is not just to protect their client or argue. Their job is also to check or to apprehend that okay, this kind of circumstances can arise if I do X, Y, Z thing. Okay, so their job is also to protect their client from the further damage that can be done. Okay, so right now a very important thing is whether you are made for law or not. जब आप 11th और 12th में जाओगे, you will read physics, you will read chemistry, you will read maths, and if you are doing very well, तो आपको लगेगा कि okay, I am made for this field because I am doing good. So maybe I want to go to NITs, maybe I want to go to best mental institutes like AIMS, right? क्योंकि आपका या तो उस फील्ड में इंटरेस्ट है या तो उस फील्ड में इतना अच्छा कर रहे हो that you feel that okay, this field is made for me, right? तो कुछ ऐसी क्वालिटीज, कुछ ऐसी स्ट्रेंथ्स और वीकनेस हम सब में होती है जिससे वी कैन डिटरमाइन कि क्या हमसे इस फील्ड में जाना चाहिए. सपोज आई टोल्ड यू दैट व्हेन आई वाज इन 11th and 12th तो मेरा बायोलॉजी, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री था. तो मेरा बायोलॉजी तो बहुत अच्छा था, फिजिक्स में ठीक ठाक था, लेकिन मेरा केमिस्ट्री बहुत गलत था. आई वाज वेरी बोरिंग. आई डिड नॉट, आई हेटेड केमिस्ट्री. ओके, सो I thought this field is not working for me. So I would really recommend you exploring this field because I think it's made for you. If you are good in your vocal skills, if you are good in writing, if you are good in English, I think this field is for you. And different. और अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि law really interests me और आपके पास वो skills नहीं है, तो भी I think आप skills over a period of time develop कर सकते हो. Okay, because ultimately it's a language. If you work, जैसे बोलते हैं कि आप जितना मैथ्स प्रैक्टिस करोगे आप उतना अच्छे बनोगे उसमें. तो इंग्लिश इज ऑल्सो लाइक दैट. The more you speak, the more you communicate, the more you put your views, and the more you read
about the current developments, read about whatever is happening around you, the more you will become aware and you will be good. So I think the 4 major qualities that you require for becoming a lawyer would be firstly the ability to read. Okay, ability to read, why I say so is कि अब जो lawyers होते हैं, जैसे इन्होंने बताया, sorry, अद्भुत ने बताया आपका कुछ जूनियर एडवोकेट, राइट? तो एज एन एडवोकेट सबके पास केस की फाइल्स आती है ना. अब आप जा रहे हो वहाँ से, मान लीजिए किसी का मर्डर हो गया, ठीक है, उसने केस फाइल करा, ठीक है, आप केस फाइल करोगे तो आप एक डॉक्यूमेंट में बताओगे ना कि मेरे साथ ये हुआ और ये ऐसा हुआ, मैं यहाँ पे था उसमें. तो देयर इज़ अ वेरी bulky and very large document that is made or from your advocate's side. Okay, तो इस पर क्या क्या लॉज अप्लाई हो रहे हैं, है ना. इंडियन पीनल कोड अगर आप लोगों को बताओ, क्रिमिनल लॉज यू अंडरस्टैंड, देयर आर क्रिमिनल लॉज, मर्डर के लिए कुछ होता है, चोरी के लिए अलग लॉ लगते हैं. तो देयर आर डिफरेंट एंड वैरायटी ऑफ लॉज, है ना. तो उनको इंटरप्रेट करना, उनको कॉम्प्रिहेंड करना, उनको अंडरस्टैंड करना, तो दैट इज अ टास्क and that is what a lawyer can do. So you need to have a very strong ability to read the complex topics, the complex material, which is what makes you a good lawyer. So that is the number one skill you should have. Secondly, strong communication. I already mentioned that you know there must be people who are good in debates. So जब आप कोर्ट में होते हो तो आपको आर्ग्यू करना पड़ता है. आपने देखा होगा मूवीज में, यू मस्ट हैव सीन जॉर्ज एंड विक्ट्री, आई थिंक सबने देखी होगी, है ना. यू मस्ट हैव सीन अर्षद भारती एंड अक्षय कुमार आर्ग्यू इन द मूवी, फाइटिंग मूवी. ऑल्दो वैसा रियल में नहीं होता है, दे डोंट फाइट बट दे डू आर्ग्यू, राइट. तो आपको आर्ग्यू करने के लिए आपको अच्छे से बोलना आना चाहिए, गुड कमांड फॉर योर लैंग्वेज, राइट. तो गुड कम्युनिकेशन स्किल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. And the third is, logical reasoning and problem solving, because I have already mentioned that जो lawyers होते हैं उनको laws interpret करने पड़ते हैं. Okay, when you interpret laws, so you need some kind of logical reasoning and patience and consistency. So I just want to ask you one question कि how many of you want to earn a lot of money? पैसा कितना कमाना? पैसा नहीं कमाना, ज़्यादा पैसे कितने पैसे कमाने में साल में? मेरी फी सेट कि आपको क्या लगता है आज से 5-6 साल बाद? वुड लाइक टू आंसर हाउ मच मनी यू वांट टू अर्न?
अथर्व,
वुड लाइक टू आंसर हाउ मच मनी यू वांट टू अर्न व्हेन यू टेक अप अ जॉब? Okay, raise your hands. Who would like to answer? How much money you want to make? I want to know how much money you want to make. Anybody? Anybody would like to answer? No? You all want to earn full money, but you cannot tell me this because how much you want to make. Conclude that you want to earn, but you're not telling me exactly how much money you want to make. How much money you want?
I can take annually 1 crore. I think annually some 1 crore.
Annually 1 crore. Okay, he wants to earn 1 crore. Anybody else wants to earn more than this?
इसको बोलने का है. वास चल रहा है.
So my point here is all of you want to make good money, right? But here patience and consistency by is when you enter the job. You need, after your graduation, you need at least 3-4 years of tenure.
skills and how much of work you have put in when you actually had to do it. Okay. Can you move to the next slide? Now, this is I would really like all of you to pay attention to this because this is the most crucial part. Okay, clarity. Now, this is like all of you after 11th and 12th, you would like to give NEET for medical exam, you would like to give JEE, and most of the aspirants aspire for that only. But if you want to pursue law, so like me, you will have to give this exam called Combined Law Admission Test. Okay, this is a national level exam and it is of 2 hours and you have 120 questions. 2 hours, 120 questions, and here is the weightage, the syllabus. That is current affairs and GK. That is the first subject that you have to study. Legal reasoning, English language, logical reasoning, quantitative techniques. So if you don't like maths, I think it will be really beneficial for you because maths consists of only 10% weightage. And if you are good in legal part, legal reasoning and current affairs, that has the maximum weightage, 25%. And then comes the English language and logical reasoning. Okay, so this is a 2 hours paper, 120 MCQs, and it is a passage-based paper. You will be given passages, okay, about half page or 1 page length passage will be given. And after reading that passage, you will have to mark the MCQs. So now the problem, I won't call it as a problem, but the major task that the candidates face is completing the paper in time. Because if you see 120 questions which are passage based, okay, you have to read the passage, you take 4-5 minutes, read the passage and then answer the questions. So for every one passage, you have to read one passage and answer 4 to 5 questions. So after every 4 to 5 questions, you will have a fresh passage. So like that, the 120th question. And there is obviously negative marking, 1/4 negative marking. Okay, so you will have to be really good in reading. Your reading speed should be very good. For that, I think for now, if you feel like you want to give this exam after your 12th, for now, what you can do is you can start reading newspapers. Okay, or maybe if you like reading books, fiction, non-fiction, any kind of book, but just start reading. When you read, you develop a lot of speed, you develop a lot of vocabulary, and you develop command over the language, which is very important to you. Okay, so this exam gives you entry into the NLUs, which is the National Universities. So you would not understand anything right now, but for JD, most of the people aspire for, aim for the IITs, right? IITs or NITs, everybody wants to go to IIT, NIT, if they want to do JD. If you are giving NEET, you obviously want to land up in AIMS or very good government colleges. So equivalent to that, in law, we have NLUs, that is the National University. If you do good, you will be attending an NLU, which is equivalent to an IIT or an AIMS institute. Okay, so these NLUs are basically the best government law colleges that you have in your country. And there are about 26 NLUs all over the country. And I'm not saying all the 26 are best, obviously not. But you should definitely try for the first 10 to 12 university. Okay, there's one in Bangalore, there's in Hyderabad, there's one in Kolkata. Lot of universities are there. And okay, can we move to the next slide? So CLAT gives you entry to all these NLUs. Now there's one more major exam which is called ALET. ALET is for National Law University Delhi. Okay, so Delhi NLU conducts a separate exam. Their university has a separate exam. They don't take admissions via CLAT. Okay, so ALET is a different exam which appear for this ALU Delhi, and it is a wonderful institute. You must give this exam if you are studying for law. You should give this exam, and of course the paper pattern is same. You have English, you have current affairs, GK, logical, and legal reasoning part. Okay, paper pattern everywhere. Once you prepare for one exam, you can give many other exams because the paper pattern is same for all the law entrance exams. Okay, so you should give ALET, and apart these are basically good government colleges, right? But supposedly if you want to go for private colleges, there are a very few good private colleges. I would say not many, but about 4 to 5 good colleges. For that, there's one entrance test called Symbiosis Law entrance test. So if anybody of you have heard of Symbiosis Law knowledge? Anybody? Symbiosis? You have? No? Okay, no problem. So Symbiosis has a lot of branches. There is one in Pune, there is one in Hyderabad, there is one in Nagpur. Okay, so there are about 3 to 4 branches of Symbiosis. You can give this exam. They also conduct their own exam, which is called SLAT, Symbiosis Law Admission Test. Okay, again the paper pattern is the same. Now, because all of you are living in Maharashtra, I would really recommend you giving this examination called MHCT, which is the entrance exam which you give for the best colleges in Maharashtra. So if you feel like you don't want to leave home or don't want to go out of Maharashtra after your 12th, you can definitely give this Maharashtra MHCT, and it lands up in very good colleges. There is one college called IDS, which is in IDS Pune. Okay, there is one in GHC, which is also in Mumbai. So all these colleges are also really good, although they are private, but they are really good. And one thing which is very important is regarding, it might not be that relevant to you right now, but when you be taking up your admissions, I think fee structure becomes very important. Okay, so in engineering, you must have heard that fee structure is quite good. You as in, I think they would be charging more than 1 lakh a year. Right, but if you take up admission in these colleges, government law colleges, the fee is comparatively high. It will go up to 2 to 2.5 lakh in 1 year, and mind you, it's a 5 years program. Okay, it's a 5 years course. So you will end up paying for around 10 to 12 lakh in 5 years for one degree. That is what makes I think law really expensive compared to other courses. For medical and engineering, if you are doing, I think you won't be paying that much. You pay I think half the price for 4 years. 10 to 12. You say I checked that, and I think it was around 1 lakh or something per year. IIMs is of course very expensive. Yeah, IIMs is very expensive.
Government medical college.
Yes, I was talking about government.
IIT and IIM the fee might be there.
Is it? Okay, then I think that's not for providing. Yes. Now, integrated law courses. What is integrated law courses? So, integrated courses means you are doing your undergraduate and you will be given 2 degrees. So, suppose a lot of you might be interested in physics, chemistry, science, and science subjects, or some of you might be interested in commerce. You would be thinking of taking commerce after you went. So, suppose you finish your 12th from commerce or science background, you can still take up law after your 12th. How? Is you can take up these integrated law courses, BBA, LLB, BCom, LLB, and BSc LLB. Now, what that means is you will have in 5 years' time, you will acquire a degree for BSc, Bachelor of Science, or BA, Bachelor of Arts, or BCom, BCD plus the LLB degree. Okay, this is what integrated law courses means. It basically gives you a benefit because in 11th and 12th you must have read, you will read your science subjects, you will read your commerce subjects. So law will not feel a very different subject if you take up the subject which is from your stream itself. I have personally Bachelor of Arts because I like those subjects: political science, sociology, economics. Okay, so if you like business and management, if you like commerce, if you like science, then you can take up those courses also. It's not necessary that you have to take up BA, LLB only. So if you take up suppose BBA, you will be studying business management plus you will be studying law. So in 5 years time, these are the subjects you will be studying, and of course you will look at the career aspect of it. So you have a lot of options. It's not just you have to stick to the arts subject only. You can study science, you can study management, commerce, whatever you like, and you can still pursue this law subject. Okay. Next slide. Okay, these are career paths that I will give you for. Next slide. Okay.
Now this is the most important aspect, and I think you should really pay attention to these aspects because this is what will land you up in good jobs, I would say, if you pursue law. The first and the foremost is litigation. Now what litigation means? Litigation is, you all are aware about litigation and you all have seen that. It's just you've seen that in movies. Okay? In movies you all must have seen two advocates arguing in front of a judge. That is what is litigation. Okay, litigation is basically when you take up cases and you take up those cases individually. Okay, you are not working through somebody, you are not working for any firm, any company, but you are taking the cases personally. So if I do litigation, the clients will come in and they will tell whatever dispute has arose. If somebody has stolen some property, if somebody has done some kind of sexual harassment or anything, any case, they will come to me, I will take up their case and I will go and file the cases on your behalf. Okay, I will be advocating for your rights, for your protection. I will go to the court on your behalf and I will fight or I will argue with the other party. The party you are accusing basically. Okay, that is what is litigation, where you will be purely doing the legal aspect directly. Okay, so I think because we are in 9th standard, I won't be dealing much into details about what work you will have to do, but I just want to give you a brief overview of how different career aspects can be made through one document. So I'll keep it really brief. Okay, so this is about litigation. You will have to draft a lot of claims and you will not get what a claim means, but just briefly, if I have to say, you will take up the case, you will basically make a document. Okay, drafting means you have to make a document where you will be telling the court, the judge, that okay, this is this XYZ thing has happened. Okay, somebody has stolen my property. Now this is my right. This is my property. I bought this property as a gift. I bought this property for myself, and somebody else has stolen. So now grant me relief. Okay, grant me the relief and give me back my property. Okay, that is what drafting means. So the better your drafting skills are, the better you will be in gaining the judgments in your field. That is what litigation is. Second slide. Now, arbitrator and mediator I know is a very foreign term, so I will explain to you what they do and what is ADR. Now, ADR, to expand, it means alternative dispute resolution. What it means is, just now I explained to you that I will take the case personally and I will go to the court and argue. Okay, now all of you must be knowing that court cases run really long, right? It takes years for one judgment to come. If I file a case today, I have no idea the judgment will come after 5 to 6 months also, but it can take 5 to 6 or maybe 10-20 years also. Okay, so right now if you see the cases that were filed in 2013, their judgments are coming today. So legal battle is that long. It takes so long for the courts to work, and it's not inefficiency, but it is because the courts are limited. We have limited judges, there are populations and all. We have a lot of cases. A lot of people are fighting cases. Okay, so it is overburdened on the judiciary, which is why it takes so long for the courts to work. So now what people do is they don't want to go through a lot of such long battles. Okay, they don't want to wait for 10-20 years to get the judgment. So they are going for ADR processes. ADR means alternative dispute resolution. It means you go before the court, you say that I don't want to come to your court because it takes so long. I can't wait so long for your judgment. Okay, give me some other alternative. So what the court will do? It will refer you to ADR. ADR means you have three kinds in this: arbitration, mediation, and conciliation. What it means is it will refer to you for any of the three that you ask. You say I want to have arbitration, it will refer you for arbitration. You say you want to have mediation, it will refer. Okay, all you have to do is go to the court and demand that this is what I want, and the court will issue that to you. Why? Because you don't want to go through all the 10-20 years. You can't wait for 10-20 years to get a judgment. So now, after the court has referred to you for this arbitration, mediation and conciliation, there will be another judge. That judge will be the arbitration in case of that judge will be arbitrator in case of arbitration case and mediator in case of mediation case. What an arbitrator does is, suppose you all must have heard of big companies, Tata Motors, Honda, right? Nestle, then next Maggie, right? Everybody know? So now what they do is, suppose Tata Motors and Honda, they have a case. They file a case against each other. Okay, they said, Tata Motors says, you owe me 20 crores. Honda says, no, I have already paid, I can't give you more money. Okay, now they don't want to go to court. It takes so long, can't wait 20 years for the judgment. Okay, so what they will do is, they will say, okay, we will settle the matter between ourselves, we don't need to get involved with. Okay, just give us appoint an arbitrator for us. Arbitrator means it is a neutral person. It is acting, he will be acting as a judge. Okay, he will be acting as a judge. Now Tata Motors and Honda, both the parties will sit and they will discuss and they will decide, how much of concession they can do, how much of reduction, and they will come to a compromise. So it is nothing but you can take it as a private dispute settlement, okay, where the parties, they engage in the discussion among themselves, and there will be a neutral party who will act as a judge, and that judge is no one but an arbitrator. So this is also one field which you can definitely explore, being an arbitrator, and you do require a significant amount of experience for this. So after you have done your graduation, after you have gotten your law degree, you have to practice for 5 years, 7 years, so that you gain an experience. Because to decide a matter, to give judgment on a matter, you definitely need some experience, you need to have knowledge, right? So for that, you need some 5 to 7 years of experience, and if the court feels that you are fit for it, you have the required practical knowledge, the required experience in the field, then they will appoint you as an arbitrator. Okay, I hope you got what is an arbitrator. Now similarly, you also have a mediator. Mediator is appointed in the case of mediation. Now, private disputes are very often, you see divorce cases are rising very significantly in India. Right? You see custody of child, there is often dispute between the parents, mother and the father, that I want the custody of the child. They often file for divorce cases. Right? So in these kind of private matters, what they do is they go for mediation. Mediation means you basically come to some kind of compromise. That okay, this is what I can do, this is what you can do, and now we come to a conclusion that these are finally the guidelines that we made, and now we will work according to these guidelines. This is what a mediator does. A mediator basically, at the outside it's you mediate, you try to resolve the conflict, you try that both the parties come to a one single conclusion point. That is what a mediator does. Okay, so you can also explore this option. For this, all you have to do is again complete your law degree and the bar exam. Bar exam is basically one exam that you qualify after your BA or BBA, whatever you are doing. That exam you will test whether whatever you are studying in your college life. Okay, you give that exam and then you do some training sessions. In that training sessions, they tell you that this is what a mediator does. This is what how you should do, and this is how impartial you should be. Okay, so this is what a mediator does. Or both these are outside the court settled. You don't have to go to court. You just sit in a room like this with AC. You get a lot of money trust me. After some years of experience, you get a lot of money. You charge for one case per day. People charge in lakhs. So in one single day, you will earn in lakhs. If you have that good experience and skills with that, it's that good. And you don't really have to put an effort also. All you have to do is sit, mediate, and see both the cases and analyze. That is it. And it's a single day to earn lakhs. So next slide. Now let me tell you in-house counsel. Law firms I hope it is more understandable, but what is in-house counsel? So I already mentioned about Tata Motors, Hyundai, and a lot of banks, HDFC banks, so many banks, so many companies. Every company has legal disputes, right? Some of the other time they will get into some dispute. Now they can't hire lawyers every time for every case because you may have dispute, you may not have केस। ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हर कंपनी है तो हर दिन उसके ऊपर कोई ना कोई केस करें, ऐसा नहीं है। लेकिन उस कंपनी के अंदर भी बहुत ऐसी चीज़ें होती हैं जो लीगली काम करनी चाहिए। सपोज आप मुझसे कहीं पर प्रॉपर्टी खरीदने चाहिए, ठीक है, प्रॉपर्टी खरीदने के लिए ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आपकी प्रॉपर्टी पे कोई अटैक कर दिया कोई घुस जाए तभी आप केस करो, ऐसा नहीं होता। आप प्रॉपर्टी खरीदो तो उसके भी बहुत लॉज है कि आप उस एरिया में प्रॉपर्टी खरीद सकते हो कि नहीं, क्या हम इतने रेट में खरीद सकते हैं, उससे कम में भी खरीद सकते हैं, इस पर टैक्स कितना लगेगा, बहुत चीज़ें होती हैं। और ये चीज़ें आप लेवल तक तो नहीं पता, कोई एडवोकेट नहीं पता होती है, ठीक है। तो ऐसी कंपनीज में भी कई सारी ऐसी चीज़ें होती हैं जो डे टू डे हैंडलिंग में करना पड़ता है, लीगली हैंडल करना पड़ता है, ओके। तो वो अंदर के जो लीगल कंप्लायंसेस होते हैं, इंटरनल लीगल कंप्लायंसेस, वो इन हाउस काउंसिल्स देखते हैं। यानी कि यू आर बेसिकली अ लॉयर बट यू वोंट बी गोइंग टू कोर्ट। तो दोस्तों भी who wish that I want to be a lawyer but I don't want to go to court. If you don't like being in court every single day, you don't want to or like first of going to court every single day and you want a desk job but a legal job, I think this job is for you. You can be recruited into good companies like Google वगैरह, आप सबको पता होगा, Google है, Amazon है, Flipkart है। Every company has in-house counsels because every company has to comply by law. बिना law के आप काम नहीं कर सकते, कोई भी कंपनी बिना law को फॉलो किए फंक्शन नहीं कर सकती। तो उन लीगल एस्पेक्ट्स को मेंटेन करने कि वो लीगल कंप्लायंसेस हो, वो मैनेज हो, इसके लिए इन-हाउस काउंसल्स अपॉइंट करते हैं, ठीक है। सो यू कैन डेफिनेटली एक्सप्लोर दिस ऑप्शन ऑल्सो। एंड next is the law firms. So law firms are the most, these are the most lucrative options that the lawyers have, because right after your law your degree, lot of companies come to placements. जैसे कि placement होता है usually, है ना, companies आती है colleges में and they take your interview, they take your assessment, and if you have any question, yeah.
You mentioned that as you become a private lawyer and handle cases about other people or companies, but for any if we lose any case, we get shaped on it, and also there would be a very big pressure to win a case, right? So it would ultimately affect our health also, because we would overthink about it and constantly work on it. So in long run it's not good for us.
It's not sustainable. So see, it's a very फील्ड में एंटर करते हैं तो यू हैव अ स्पेसिफिक माइंडसेट, ठीक है। जब आप अपने कॉलेज में जाते हैं तो कॉलेज में ना सबको इंटर्नशिप पीरियड मिलता है, ठीक है, 1 महीने का इंटर्नशिप होता है। वो इंटर्नशिप में आपको सारा लॉ का काम करना होता है। आप किसी अप्लाई कर इंटर्नशिप किसी, जैसे कि सर ने बताया आई डन इंटर्नशिप अंडर वेरियस जजेस, अंडर वेरियस एडवोकेट्स, आई डन इन लॉ फर्म। ये तो उस इंटर्नशिप के पीरियड में ना आप इतना सीख जाते हो that you learn to handle that pressure, okay, and losing in many cases it's a part of the job. Someday you cannot be winning every day, you won't be losing every day also, okay. कुछ केसेस आप जीतते हो, कुछ केसेस आप हारते हो, लेकिन जो एक्सपीरियंस आप बिल्डअप करते हो वो केसेस जीतने और हारने के बाद, दैट इज व्हाट मैटर्स। बिकॉज इन 5 years ऑफ टाइम अगर मैंने 4 केस भी हारे या मान लो पर ईयर महीने में 1 साल में 7-8 केसेस देती हूँ, ठीक है। अब 7-8 केसेस में से मैं मान लो 4 हार गई 5 जीत, तो भी वो 4 हारने के बाद जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस होगा कि मैंने क्यों वो चीज़ हारा, दैट एक्सपीरियंस विल हेल्प यू फर्दर, क्या वापस मेरी गलती नहीं करोगे, है ना। तो इट इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ प्रोफेशन, इट्स नॉट प्रेशर, ऑफ कोर्स प्रेशर इज एन एवरीथिंग, ठीक है। जैसा आप इंजीनियरिंग करोगे कभी से कंपनी में जाओगे वहाँ पे अलग तरह का प्रेशर होगा, आप डॉक्टर बन जाओगे, सर्जरी करोगे, दैट इज़ वेरी ह्यूज प्रेशर कि आप किसी पेशेंट की लाइफ के साथ आप खेल रहे हो, है ना। तो यहाँ पे भी winning and losing is a part, so it's not that it's not sustainable, but with time you will get the experience and how to handle the winning and the defeat part, okay. One more question.
कहानियाँ चाचा
Some getting you're doing a case and then there is one getting person. He's actually getting, but he says I'm not, and you are misliked and you somehow win the case. But next year he gets caught for another type of case and it's kind of similar to your case, and then he's proven guilty, and then he also believes that at your time, the case you were fighting for, he did the lab at the same time and did the exam.
So what happens is एक तरह का लॉ होता है, ठीक है, डबल जेओपार्डी केस कि किसी भी इंसान को ना एक ऑफेंस के लिए 2 बार सजा नहीं कर सकते। मैंने एक बार मर्डर करा तो मैं एक बार मर्डर किया, मुझे 2 बार सजा नहीं दूँगी कि एक बार 10 साल फिर अभी एक बार और 10 साल, ऐसे नहीं होता, ठीक है। अगर मैंने कोई केस लिया, ठीक है, मैंने कोई केस लिया, ठीक है, उस केस में मान लो कि मुझे कैन आई टेक फॉर एग्जांपल विदाउट, सो सपोज विदाउट मेरे पास आया, उसने मुझे बोला कि आई हैव डन मर्डर ऑफ द XYZ पर्सन, नाउ यू हैव टू डिफेंड मी। आई डिफेंड हिम इन द कोर्ट एंड थैंकफुली ही सेव्ड आल्सो। एंड जो क्वेश्चन इसके बाद में पता चला कि इसने मर्डर किया हो, तो वो केस क्लोज हो चुका है, अब उसका कुछ कोई एक्शन नहीं हो सकता, ठीक है। एक बार जब कोर्ट ने जजमेंट पास कर दिया आपके फेवर में या आपके अगेंस्ट में, तो वो केस क्लोज, ठीक है। ऑल दे कैन डू इज कि आप उसके ऊपर अपील फाइल कर सकते हो, ठीक है। आपको पता चला कि हाँ इस केस में उसने कुछ किया था, आपको कुछ एविडेंस मिल गया, कुछ प्रूफ मिल गया, आपने कोई वीडियो देख लिया, कुछ भी कोई सम काइंड ऑफ प्रूफ आपको मिल गया, तो आप ऑल यू कैन डू इज कि यू कैन फाइल एन अपील, यानी कि उससे ऊपर जो कोर्ट, सबसे ऊपर वाला सबसे हाईएस्ट कोर्ट ऑफ द कंट्री कौन सा होता है? सुप्रीम कोर्ट, राइट। लेकिन जो केसेस होते हैं वो हमेशा डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट से शुरू होता है यूजुअली, ठीक है। डिपेंड्स ऑन द मैटर, अगर बहुत सीरियस है तो ऊपर वाले कोर्ट में जा सकता है, एंड ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स कि आप केस कहाँ फाइल करना चाहते हो, ठीक है। तो यूजुअली जो मैटर होता है वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट से शुरू होता है। डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट ने इसको अक्विट कर दिया, बोल दिया कि आप नहीं, आपने कुछ नहीं करा, तो ऑल यू कैन डू इज यू कैन फाइल एन अपील टू द हाई कोर्ट अगर आपके पास एविडेंस है। हाई कोर्ट ने बोला कि नहीं, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला नहीं, आप बच जाओ, तो फिर आप रिव्यू के लिए फाइल कर सकते हो। सुप्रीम कोर्ट शुड री-लुक इनटू द डिसीजन। So this is how it works, okay? And once the case is closed finally in Supreme Court, no further judgment. Okay, that is how it works.
I don't like to actually. I would request students to please write your questions, and we have limited time. So, like some questions I really liked and appreciate, like topic 6 that you have taken, like fee structure. It's a factor. How to prepare for that. Who students are the appropriate students to take up this course. Apart from this, these are the questions which I am getting. Apart from this, I feel many other students also must be feeling some questions. So please, one student, one question next month. So please ask the questions.
Okay, so far whatever I have discussed, उसमें से किसी को कोई question है you want to ask, then we can move forward. If you want to ask anything, or maybe even apart from this regarding the law career.
Hands raised कर सकते हैं and microphone. Yeah.
अरे कौन है?
आपने जैसे बोला कि डिग्री मतलब 11th और 12th के बाद हम करेंगे, अगर हमने 11th और 12th से अगर कर रहे हैं तो क्या? 11th और 12th से करेंगे प्रिपरेशन, यस, मतलब क्या?
डेफिनेटली आप 11th एंड 12th से भी प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो, बट व्हाट आई वांटेड टू कन्वे इज कि 11th एंड 12th में आपको कोई स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट लेना है, उसका कोई बात नहीं है। जैसे मैंने साइंस लिया था, साइंस एंड लॉ वेरी डिफरेंट, तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि आपने मैथ्स लिया है तो भी आप कर सकते हो, या कोई फॉलो अप क्वेश्चन?
आई थिंक मेरा चाह रही है कि 11th 12th के दौरान मैं क्या ले सकता हूँ, क्या प्रिपेयर कर सकता हूँ, तो बिकॉज ये कोर्स आप BA LLB श्योरली आफ्टर 12th ही जाएंगे, तो क्या सारी बातें मुझे 12th के बाद ही सोचनी है अगर मैं लॉ फील्ड में जाना चाहता हूँ, या एक 9th स्टूडेंट 10th स्टूडेंट्स के लिए 11th में भी कुछ बचता है लॉ की दिशा में जाने के लिए, लाइक कौन से सब्जेक्ट 11th में चूज़ करें जो कि ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल होंगे?
सो अगर आपने ऐसा डिसाइड कर लिया कि आपको लॉ भी करना है और आप 11th एंड 12th से उसकी प्रिपरेशन करना चाह रहे हो, तो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज, एज आई मेंशन कि सबसे फीजिबल जो डिग्री होती है इसमें वो BA LLB होती है, जो कि सबसे ज़्यादा इंस्टीट्यूशंस ऑफर करते हैं। BBA ऑल्सो, बट रिलेटिवली BA इज मोर प्रोमिनेंट। तो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज, एज आई मेंशन कि BA LLB के लिए आप किसी भी सब्जेक्ट से, किसी भी आर्ट सब्जेक्ट से 11th एंड 12th कर सकते हो, लाइक पॉलिटिकल साइंस ले सकते हो, हो आप, हिस्ट्री ले सकते हो, सोशियोलॉजी ले सकते हो, ठीक है। जो भी आर्ट्स के सब्जेक्ट होते हैं वो आप ले सकते हो 11th 12th, ठीक है। क्योंकि हाँ जी, स्टॉक मार्केट, स्टॉक मार्केट इज समथिंग रिलेटेड टू दिस। स्टॉक मार्केट के लिए आपको कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट से बात करनी होगी एंड ओके।
If a lawyer loses a case, does he or she have to pay their client back, or what happens exactly with the money?
Okay, so as I mentioned कि losing and winning is a part of the case, ठीक है। वो आपके जॉब में होता रहेगा, आप भी जाओगे और कुछ केस इनिशियली लूज करोगे, फिर ये आप केसेस जीतोगे, ठीक है। तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि अगर आप हार गए तो आपको पैसे वापस कर देंगे। जब आप केस लेते हो किसी का तो आप उनसे एडवांस लेते हो, ठीक है। If you come to me and say I want you want me to fight a case for you, you will have to give me some advance money for that, and you will have to specify कि मैं एक appearance in court या एक दिन का मैं इतना चार्ज लूँगा या मैं इस काम के लिए इतना चार्ज लूँगा। Only if you agree, I can take up your case. And उसमें winning and losing का कोई scope ही नहीं, मतलब उसमें that's not even a part of discussion.
एडवोकेट्स की फीस में कोई गवर्नमेंट सीलिंग नहीं है।
Sorry sir.
एडवोकेट्स की फीस में कोई गवर्नमेंट सीलिंग नहीं है। मार्केट प्राइस रेगुलेटेड नहीं है कोई।
नहीं, I don't think so. Private.
आई एम आस्किंग दिस लाइक अदर फील्ड्स में लाइक मेडिसिन की प्राइस रेगुलेटेड है, लाइक टेलीकॉम के चार्जेस ट्राई में रेगुलेट किए हुए हैं। कोई भी बीएसएनएल कोई भी ऑपरेटर अपनी मर्जी से प्राइस डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता है। तो इज दिस सीलिंग और रेगुलेटरी थिंग इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर लॉ आल्सो, लॉयर्स आल्सो?
See, Advocates Act is what there's an act called Advocates Act, जो कि जिसमें आप basically सारे guidelines और क्या practices advocates के लिए उसमें सारी guidelines दी हुई हैं। But as such आप जितना ज़्यादा experience है आपके पास उतना ज़्यादा expensive आपको, it is very obvious, right? तो अगर मेरे पास 10 साल का experience है तो obviously I will charge in lakhs। मैंने 10 साल ऐसे छोड़ी अपने BA पढ़ाई को, मैंने एक्सपीरियंस गेन करा इससे, और जितना ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस लॉयर होगा उतना ज़्यादा प्रोबेबिलिटी होती है उसके केसेस जीतने की।
Before you take up, I would further on the question that what personally your belief is this correct ethically, especially for a country like India where a larger population is read law, still literacy is also an issue in India. So understanding the complex law procedure is a difficulty for them. Charging high fee, unregulated fee from the clients, is this even ethical? Throwing a question to you, want to know your opinion.
So I want to be biased, but I think the ethical aspect doesn't come into it, because अगर आप 5 साल की डिग्री कर रहे हो उसके बाद आप प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो, 8 to 10 years of practice कर रहे हो, तो you are doing that to gain experience and to earn money. Ultimately, everybody has to earn, right? तो अगर आप इतना experience building कर रहे हो तो वो इसीलिए कर रहे हो कि you will be paid more. Now there are various laws. Like I gave the example of Mr. Ram Upadhyay, right? He is defending 70 cases. I remember the drug case, everybody was successful, right? तो उन्होंने कितने पैसे दिए for one single case. So that is because they are serial lawyers. I don't think it's ethically, incorrect as such, because they have gained that experience to charge for that. Any more questions?
मैम अगर मान लीजिए गवर्नमेंट एक आदमी को लॉयर देती है ना, लॉयर देती तो
Can you repeat the question?
अगर क्रिमिनल केस चल रहा है तो गवर्नमेंट किसी को लॉयर देती है ना, तो उस लॉयर का पेमेंट वो गवर्नमेंट करती थी, वो पर्सन करता है।
Excuse me, ma'am. I think he wants to ask. Suppose a person is very poor. He doesn't have enough money to pay to the lawyer. In that case, is there any provision?
So in that case, there are also rights for people. So in that case, if you don't have money, the court will appoint a lawyer for you. You don't have, you have to pay a very minimal fee for that. Maybe yeah, public prosecutor is basically for criminal cases only. Okay, that's only for criminal cases, and they file cases from state side. But this can be private individual, right? Private individual is coming in and saying that I know that I cannot file, I don't have the money to pay for my advocate. So in that case, the court will appoint a lawyer for you. Any more questions?
आपने जो बोला कि अभी वो गवर्नमेंट देती है लॉयर्स तो उनके फीस कौन देता है?
उनकी फीस वही देते हैं. Court will pay on your behalf because you are not, what do you say, financially capable of paying that. Of course, you have to prove that you are financially capable. It's not that कोई बैंक के साथ जाके बोला है कि they do a background check over that and only they. Any more questions?
Ma'am, as you said that if it's poor, then government gives hires and law. So then the poor person have to give money.
They don't have to give it. You have to basically file an application where you will be stating that you cannot afford a loan. And it is your right, it is one of the rights of the client to demand a lawyer because they cannot afford it. So there's no give and take of money involved in that.
I think before asking the question, please tell your name and then you continue your question.
Is there an age till which we can pursue this career? My name is Kamlesh.
Okay, Kamlesh, no, there's no age limit. There are a lot of people who are pursuing law even now while doing jobs, 40, 50, any age limit. There's no age limit as such. You can do this degree anytime you want. In fact, I want to tell you that in my college I have somebody who's retired. He's 75 years old man and he is doing his masters in a college of full freshers, 22, 24, 25 years old. He's 75. He has worked in some company as a manager. He's a retired manager and he's still pursuing law. So you don't have any age limit. Any other question?
My name is Alvin. I just wish to ask that I had heard that what the I had heard that 2 or 3 years ago the IPC had been changed to BNS. So I just wish to ask you if it provides any differences in the severity of questions or the so in the new BNS, is there any difference in the severity of the crime or the gravity of negligence?
So see, IPC was very outdated. It was enacted in the British time. We needed a newer law, but the majority, I would say 90 to 95% of the law is just copy-pasted. It is very minute changes. Okay, when it comes to the severity aspect, as such, whatever laws earlier were there is no changes in that. But there are certain, suppose I was talking to someone and I mentioned that you can file an FIR through electronic means now. So now there are a lot of technology aspect where you can spend more efforts. The IPC will cover anything. Criminal case, उनकी punishment will be इसमें. As such, otherwise there is no such changes in the laws that already exist, but a lot of new things have been added, especially that we're dealing with the electronic crimes on the online platforms. All those have been added. Otherwise, it's more or less the same.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to ask any question? No more questions.
Anybody else would like to ask? So I think we can conclude this session. See, first of all, a big round of applause to Thank you. A very, very informative and very good session, I would say. Not only about you people, even I have learned today so many things I did not know, like in our session, she told us about ETR and so many other things. So really very informative and very good for you people also. I think very nicely she has explained what are the opportunities waiting for you if you study law. Okay, how to get admission, how to prepare, what are the prestigious colleges you can get admission into, what is the fee structure and what all. And thank you, Riya. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Riya. So, on behalf of the entire family of ACS Shri Mumbai, I extend warm wishes and thanks to you. Before I conclude, I would like to tell you words about her. Riya Singh, she has studied from the National University of Study and Research, Ranchi, and she is a 5th year student. And also, I would like to tell you, she is an alumni of ACS. So, a very proud moment for us that a student of ACS. We as a teacher really feel very proud when we see our students. Okay, and standing here, it's a proud moment for us teachers also. And here I will say that you are a very good lawyer. I have only heard you can give mic to lawyers anytime they can speak on anything. You have proved it today. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And it was very good interacting with you all. And I really wish that after your 12th, when you are preparing for your exam, then I really hope that you consider law as an option and you try to explore it. And I really wish some of you at least going ahead and advocates. Thank you so much for having me.
I feel that in Indian movies, Bollywood movies, law courts scenes have inspired generations after generations. चाहे वो तारीख पे तारीख, दीवार का सीन हो, चाहे वो जॉबी की सीन्स हो, चाहे वो किसी भी एक आम हर एक वर्ष में जितनी भी मूवीज रिलीज होती हैं उसमें से बिकॉज Indian system has become like this. And आज के दौर में जब कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिसेस, कॉर्पोरेट एक नंबर जो नंबर है काफ़ी बढ़ गया है, कॉर्पोरेट लॉ की तरफ रुझान स्टूडेंट्स का बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा है. हर चीज़ आफ्टर 12th क्लास नहीं हो सकती. कुछ चीज़ें इवन हम 11th में जाने के बाद, 12th में जाने के बाद जब हम एग्ज़ाम में अपियर होते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि हमें 7 वाले तो पहले से ही प्रिपेयर कर रहे थे, मैं शायद लेट हूँ क्या. तो जो चीज़ IIT JEE के लिए एप्लीकेबल है, जो चीज़ आज CUET के लिए एप्लीकेबल है, जो चीज़ आज मैनेजमेंट कोर्सेज में अंडर ग्रेजुएट से ही एडमिशन ले लेते हैं. 10 साल पहले दौर था जब सिर्फ PG एडमिशन ही होते थे. इवन रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो है वो भी आजकल अंडर ग्रेजुएट पे विशेष ध्यान दे रहे हैं. तो जब हम 12th तक पहुँचते हैं और एडमिशन मार्च महीने में खोजने की कोशिश करते हैं, हमें लगता है सब तो एडमिशन लिस्ट भी पब्लिश हो चुकी, हम बहुत नहीं खोज चुके. तो आज के दौर में कंपटीशन ज़बरदस्त तरीके से मल्टीप्लाई हुआ है पिछले 3-4 सालों में. ज़्यादा पूरा नहीं लगता, 3-4 सालों में बहुत ज़बरदस्त मल्टीप्लाई हुआ है. तो सक्सेसफुल वो है, हम सब टैलेंटेड हैं, हम सब में पोटेंशियल है, लेकिन आज सक्सेस उस पोटेंशियल को सक्सेस में कन्वर्ट वो करवा पा रहा है जो सजग है. अलर्ट होना पहली चीज़ है, पहली एडवांटेज है. जिनके पेरेंट्स एक्टिव हैं, सजग हैं और पहले से प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, उनको एक एडवांटेज है, साइकोलॉजिकल एडवांटेज है, प्लस प्रैक्टिकली भी वो दूसरों से आते हैं. क्लैट कंबाइंड लॉ एडमिशन टेस्ट बेहतरीन चीज़ है इसलिए क्योंकि वो इंडिया के बेस्ट लॉ कॉलेजेस की तरफ दरवाजे खोलता है. नेशनल लॉ स्कूल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ इंडिया बेंगलुरु का कोई सामी नहीं है, वहाँ वहाँ पे उसकी वही प्रेस्टीज और रिस्पेक्ट है जो कि IIT कानपुर की इंजीनियरिंग में, IIT दिल्ली, IIT बॉम्बे की इंजीनियरिंग के केसेस में 7 IITs की, वही नर्सर हैदराबाद और जितने भी 26 प्रोबेबली 26 लॉ यूनिवर्सिटीज ऑफ इंडिया जो है वो बेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं। उनमें एडमिशन का अर्थ ही है कि आपको एक बेस्ट पढ़ाई मिलेगी, आप बेस्ट लॉयर्स डेफिनेटली बनोगे, क्योंकि इंस्टीट्यूशन बेस्ट इंस्टीट्यूशन में आप पढ़ रहे हो तो गारंटी है आपके सक्सेसफुल कैरियर का। मोर और लेस वहाँ पर जाने के लिए जो एडमिशन टेस्ट होता है, फीस होता है, तो मुझे बहुत सारी चीज़ें जानने में हमें इंटरेस्ट था कि उनकी फीस स्ट्रक्चर क्या है, वहाँ पे टॉपिक कौन सी पूछे जाएंगे, वहाँ का एडमिशन टेस्ट क्वालिफाई करने के लिए हमें क्या क्या चीज़ों की जरूरत पड़ेगी। आई एम पर्सनली थैंकफुल टू मिस रिया फॉर कमिंग टू स्कूल 3 and to guide our students regarding this. It was only first class. I don't expect any of you to know each and everything about law from this class itself. It's only a trigger. I hope this class will be successful in case you get motivation and you get inspiration to join for law. There are various things why one should join for law. In case you are a habitual debater, in case you are feel joy in speaking, you have best oratory skills, you can go, you can think of going towards it. At the same time, if you have less interest towards other fields like medical, like engineering, like mathematics, like science, or core science subjects, and at the same time you have more interest toward literary fields or about speaking, then I think law is very choice. At the same time, if you have interest for social causes, like some injustice you have seen happening somewhere, you have seen Indian policing system that even FIRs are not being lodged by the police. You have seen many ordinary people, ordinary poor, common Indian persons suffering from various injustices. Law and being lawyer is a tool to get that justice achieved for every that common person. And more importantly, that ignorance of law is not accepted. Law was established. You have to take the cognizance, you have to understand it, you have to know it, and you have to understand it, you have to follow the law. So even if you are not interested in law, there are basic minimum things which you need to know. You can't say in the court that I am not knowing that in case of murder I will be given this punishment. You can't say, I was not knowing. You need to know. So this class was only a trigger, this session was only the first session. I am thankful on behalf of all of us. I am thankful to Riya, and I am hoping and wishing that you students will surely come forward to take up this kind of courses, career, and similar to this series is one class in the series of such classes. We will continue. Thank you so much.
So, the importance of this session is that we came to know there are so many other things beyond engineering and medical. Okay, now I would like to request sir to give this card as a token of our love, respect and thank you to Riya Madam. Madam, this card is made by one of our students only.